Let's face it, we have all been there before. We have been doing something really well with following our healthy habits or our goals, our practices, and then an excuse pops up or something causes us to break from that habit, or, honestly, just life happens and we get thrown off a little bit. And it's okay, it happens to all of us, myself included, times a million. But the key question here is, how do you handle it? What do you do after that happens? Do you feel guilty or like you've fallen off the bandwagon? Do you feel like you have to wait it out until next Monday to start up again? Or do you feel like you have to reset? If so, this is such a strong all or nothing mentality, and it can actually be preventing you from making all of this progress that you need towards your health and wellness goals. And our lives are filled with so much change, messiness, challenges, and imperfection. It isn't black and white and this and that. And that's the most beautiful thing about life, right? This is where we get the opportunity to not only learn about ourselves, but to also deepen and build resiliency and cultivate a stronger awareness for mindfulness, our intuition, and also our mind-body connection. And trying to be perfect or follow some idolized way of eating or healthy living just isn't going to support you in creating those habits that actually help you reach your long-term goals. And on top of that, you'll be missing out on viewing these situations as learning opportunities to find something that really greater aligns with yourself. Learning opportunities are such a beautiful moment. So in this video, I want to walk you through 2 strategies that I use and that I teach my clients that you can implement to unintentionally break a habit. There are so many situations in our lives when we do want to stray from our normal routine and our normal day-to-day habits, whether that's to enjoy a dinner out because we're on vacation, or we want to sleep in a little bit rather than follow up with our regular morning routine. And that's great. But there are times when we stray from our habits and also from our normal routines when we might regret the decision, either because we didn't plan for the situation, or we might have come up with an excuse at the last minute that really didn't align with our authentic self or our goals. But first, I want you to know that anytime you're trying to form a new habit or break from an old one, you're going to experience these obstacles. That's okay. I promise you, there is not one single person, myself included, that can wake up and perfectly practice a new habit every single day. In fact, I wouldn't want that, because there's, like I said earlier, just so much magic in the learning of the nuances of our life and our capacity to be flexible and move with the flow and really build that resiliency. And when you're changing your behaviors, it's completely normal and it's expected to experience these challenges and to have moments when your habits break. It's okay, you're not alone. And what's more important and what's most important here is that you don't need to feel guilty when you do break them. Guilt, shame, any negative emotion associated with this is not warranted here. People who show themselves more self-compassion in these moments are much better able to get back on track, while those who feel guilty or shameful really struggle more and complete that narrative over and over and over again. So in addition, research shows that for most people, once the pattern of doing the habit is broken, it doesn't matter whether it was broken by a little or it was broken by a lot. And this might sound like, I didn't eat really well at lunch, so I'm just gonna eat junk food today and for the rest of the day since I already ruined it, and I'm gonna start on Monday. Or this food wasn't on my diet plan, so I just ruined everything and I'm just gonna reset next month. This is such a common thought process. This is what I would call the all or nothing mentality, and it's creeping in, making you believe that if you can't do everything 100% perfectly, then there's no point in doing it at all. Right? Would we ever get anything done if all of us thought that way? That's not the case. Overall, consistency is key. It is so much more important than perfection, because the things that we do consistently are the things that will make the most impact in our day-to-day lives, whether it's professional goals or it's, of course, about your health habits. And honestly, perfection doesn't have a say or a space in your health. It is not about perfection. It is about progress and your path. So when you experience a misstep, you use these two strategies to really help you, bring yourself back to some consistency and repetition with your habits. And this leads into strategy number 1, which is to plan for the next time. So excuses, changes of environment or routine, an unexpected life event, travel, vacations, whatever, they are a part of life and they take us out of our normal schedule, right? Which means we have to learn how to navigate and pivot in these situations because they are inevitable. And when you come across a new challenge or a situation and you stray from your normal path, just by bringing awareness to this really helps you identify how you might handle things differently next time so that you can plan, you can get ahead of the game, especially if you're faced with this situation that might be really common for you. So to do this, all you have to do is write down your answers to these questions. Number 1, what caused you to break your habit? Number 2, how did you feel after looking back on the decision that you made? Number 3, how might you handle things differently next time? So again, I love examples. So let's take you through this one. Let's say that you go to a workout class 3 days a week in the mornings, but one day you decided to skip your workout because you just felt like, it's really comfortable in here. I want to stay in my bed this morning. I totally get that, and I probably use this example because it happens all the time. In those very first moments of waking up, I don't think anyone actually wants to get out of their warm, cozy bed and do anything like go work out or XYZ. So if that's happened to you, like it happens to me a lot, what could you do differently next time? How could you plan ahead for those moments where you really don't feel like getting out of bed to, really, again, like protect yourself from making that last minute excuse? How do you walk yourself through that process? And the way I protect my morning workout class from excuses is by running through what I call my 2Q daily practice. I walk you through how to do this in my free guide for creating healthy habits with ease. Be sure to get that. It's linked around this video, and it really, really helps me not only tune into myself just to see if I'm making an excuse of not wanting to get up, or if my body truly and honestly needs an extra hour of sleep. And if that's the case, that's okay. This practice really works for me, but you also have to practice some different things and need to explore what might work for you in these situations and also in your experience. So again, planning ahead is such an important strategy for not making those last minute decisions and instead making conscious, intentional choices ahead of time when you have a clear mind and you're focused on your long-term vision. The second strategy is to get back to the habit that you're trying to create as soon as possible. So for most of us, that can mentally be really tricky because we have this idea if that we already made this mistake with our habits, we need to start again tomorrow or next week, next month. It's like all of this reset mentality. And one way to get over this mental block and just get back on track quicker is to simply look at your day into 5 sections. Again, think about it as your morning, your lunch, your afternoon, dinner, and evening routines. And if you break a habit in one of these parts of your day or in your routine, you get back on track during the next one, during that next section. This little mental switch can drastically help you look at those different parts of your day as a way to get back on track rather than feeling like you have to click this reset button or if you're feeling like you ruined the entire day just because you had a simple misstep in your morning routine. It also really helps you take the positive and proactive action much sooner. If you skip your morning routine workout, but then you have a really nutritious lunch with a 10-minute mindfulness practice, you've already put yourself back into a winning position that's really aligned with your goals, and you instantly created more forward momentum for yourself versus just saying, oh, I did this and now I have to start over tomorrow fresh. And having a 2-minute check-in with yourself at these 5 different parts of your day can really help you break your day into some small wins so that you're more consistent overall. It really supports that action. So if you're ready to put this into practice, I want you to grab my free guide for creating healthy habits with ease, where I walk you through this entire process along with some journal prompts for navigating these tricky situations as they inevitably arise. So be sure to follow the link around this video and download that to get your hands on it. And if you liked this video, as always, let me know by sharing your biggest takeaway with me. And also be sure to follow and subscribe for more videos like this every single week. And if you need inspiration for what you can do to support your well-being, then head over to nutritionstrip.com, where you'll find hundreds of free articles, free recipes to inspire your day-to-day life. I hope that you have a really beautiful day, and remember, health is a daily practice.